Slow down. Relax. Take your time. Enjoy the woods.
That looks good. This is an area where I come to often for a day camp type situation in the woods. I usually get water from the little stream that you've been looking at, but it's really only a couple of inches deep. I would like to refer to this as a seep. There's no spring here in this area. Everything comes down to this point and it just kind of seeps out. So I want to build up that supply a little bit just by increasing that pool that I use, make it a little bit deeper so it won't be as difficult to get water from it. Found out something new though. When you're walking through the woods with an armload of rocks, and a spider web hits you in the face, you can't do that. Now I'm trying to be sensitive to the habitat that's already in here. I think I just got a wet hiney. It's not everybody you can say that to, nor will they understand. If you ever played in the creek as a kid, you probably got a wet hiney too. That appears to be doing exactly what I need it to. It'll take a couple hours for that to settle. In a previous video, somebody commented because I cut down a small maple to make, stands for my tarp to help hold it out. That's a maple. That's a maple. That's a maple. There's maple, 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 maple. So I don't think one tree is really going to hurt anything. And believe me, I protect the environment at all costs. I know that this is a shag bark hickory. Look what it's doing. It's shagging off its bark. It's shaggy bark, that's what it is. I've also looked on the ground and I found, spent hickory nuts. And there's lots of them. Somebody once commented that, I was sawing hickory to make it fit in my stove. Why didn't I just break it? Now, this is a small branch, and I'm not fudging on this. I bet if I went way out here, I can probably get a crack out of it. Let's see what's going on. Okay, that one broke. Okay, but I need a little bigger than that. Let's see how far that goes. We got that one. Got that one. And then, bull worker. There we go. And if you're going to do it like this, it's not breaking. You have to cut that because it's hickory. It's one of the strongest tensile strength woods known to man. See? So when somebody wants to fuss at you for having to cut hickory, you explain it to them that way. You stuck my gut in. Ooh, Lord have mercy. If you don't have one of these foraging pouches, they fold up out of the way when you're not using them. Really handy when you are. See the water moving? Now this water is gently moving forward. You see the little pod there? That's from a tulip poplar. It used to be up here. So an hour or so has passed and it's made its way down to there. That's why I told you it's a seep. I just went and cut another piece of maple. Hope I didn't offend anybody. Never cut over your leg. Never cut over your leg. God almighty. See? It's a nice sharp knife. And again, that's why you have a first aid kit. I didn't like that idea. This is the first time I've ever used this knife to whittle with. And believe me, and she's bleeding into. I don't carry paper towels. See, I'll take watch it. It comes right back. We're just gonna put some pressure on it for a minute. See if it'll slow down some. If you play with sharp tools, you will eventually cut yourself. I don't care who you are. It may not be a big cut, it could be a little cut. See, that's why I said don't saw over your knee or leg. But, you know, as far as whittling, you're going to be really close. And, you know, I didn't take a precaution. You should always trim away from you. I didn't do that. See, that's how you get in trouble. You don't do the thing you know you should do. Now, I'd be willing to bet that if you've watched people get cut before, you knew it was going to happen before they did. Just kind of stopped. I'll probably open it back up in a minute now. Now, I do not wish to press on this non-bleeding thumb. So I'm going to use these little scissors. I guess they're like sewing scissors or something, but they're in my kit. I missed my thumb. Uh-oh, I squeezed it. See, I squeezed it. Just like that. Oh, you know what? And ants are enjoying my blood. Damn you. Damn you all. We got some housekeeping to do. Where did that blade go? Did it go away? Are you afraid of it? Are you scared? I have a healthy respect for you. Ow. And I'll turn it around. This blade is something new I got. It's a Gerber. A little multi-tool kind of thing. Little bitty feller. And everything locks. You see this little pull here? If you pull, it releases it. There we go, like that. And then all the rest of the tools come out. There's a little punch here, small screwdriver, a little file, and something they call a Phillips, but I wouldn't call it that. And then there's a flathead here. A while ago I was going to make a set of tongs to use in my cooking for my lunch. But I whacked my thumb on this teeny tiny little knife. So since I need this thumb to kind of push with to whittle, I'm just going to make some chopsticks. See if that won't do the same thing. I'm impressed with this little blade. Not only is it just really sharp, it has a good angle, has a good heft to it. It's nice and strong. So it's tiny, but boy, it does a good job here. Maybe. Now in my past video, The Truth About Gasifiers, I talked about how they were a burn down scenario. That's how to get longevity out of your fuel, is to lie at the top and let it burn down. But today I want to build a coal bed really fast with all this hickory. Because I just want to hickory smoke something. It's not going to take long to cook it. So I'm going to build a coal base really fast. So I'm going to actually start a fire and then put the hickory on top. That's odd. I knew she was damp, but I didn't know it was that damp. Well, that's what I fuss at everybody else about, you know. Don't do that. Let's get this one. Well, that was a little more challenging than I thought it was going to be. Everything is still damp from the big rain yesterday. I don't really like shotgunning the ferro rod like that. That seems like a waste of ferro. Get some fat wood up in there. I'm gonna light up a little side burner because I need something without that much heat. I took the advice of one of my commenters and turned this, come on, into a stove. And I just want to heat some water for my coffee, and I want to melt some butter for later on for basting. When cooking grits, one of the secrets to it, get them really hot. I use a little pack of half and half, but this is what makes grits creamy. Is you add a little bit of milk to it. See that? Now that's just creaming up really nice. And I got my water sitting over here keeping hot, so I can add some in. It's about a cup of water and a quarter cup of grits, and then they're going to need to cook successfully for 10 or 15 minutes. They say 5 minutes, but that's a hooey. And then we put the top on, just like that. We'll set that off to the side. Maybe some of these small oh my God, I am bleeding everywhere. Okay, see where I cut my finger? Now I've pushed on it and it's bleeding through again. See, that's how I found it. Well, being as my thumb decides it wants to just continue to bleed and bleed and bleed, it might be time to get a little more serious about that. The problem is that I'm still using the thumb. I keep pushing on it. If I would just let it rest, it wouldn't keep doing it. You say, well, that's not much. Not until I squeeze on it, and then it takes off. A little dab of this stop bleeding of all kinds. I think my daughter gave me that from one of my Christmas presents a while back. Can't seem to get the pack open. I'm just going to put my finger in there, just use it all. I mean, it's got a big hunk of blood right up on top. I can see how this would work if you had a massive cut, or body injury or something like that. See, if you could just help me with the other end of this Band-Aid, I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, we'll wash that up a little bit. Boom. Hickory nut, probably. And I'm restoking my fire for a second round of ashes. The first ones didn't go so well, so I'm going to restock this, and I'm going to get some water. Now here's my pond that I made. Certainly is flowing around the edges now, but it still hasn't settled very well. Now what I think I'm going to do, there is another hole right here. It's got some sand in it. Maybe that'll work. See? That looks pretty good. Well, that's nice and hot. A little more butter. Some garlic salt. Some smoke. If you go through that grill, you know you want to if you do it. Yeah, Chris, I know you're expecting one of them to go on the ground, but maybe, maybe not. Okay, why is there only 3 on the plate? One decided to join the fire. You know, my wife said, it'll probably go through the grate. Well, probably will. I'm just going to let her go and eat what I've got. You know, you can't really hurt a shrimp, except for that one in the fire. Now, real shrimp and grits, the way I make them is to cook these in the frying pan. And then you pour the shrimp juice. Get away, fly. Well, he likes my shrimp. You pour that juice from the frying pan into the grits. And Chris, I cooked one for you, but it fell in the fire. That's good. If you haven't had Southern style grits, part of the secret to it is to cook them 15-20 minutes, not 5. I'm not ready in 5. Not going to happen. Put plenty of butter, plenty of salt, and that little touch of milk. You can use half and half, or you can use creamer, whole milk. All that's good. Let me get my coffee off the fire. Shrimp is good. Got that hickory smoke on it. I actually have one more shrimp. I wouldn't fit on the grill. We're going to cook that too. For years, I've carried a first aid kit. I almost never had to use it for me. It was always somebody else. I'm so glad I was prepared. Because as bad as this was, it could have been a lot worse. Little feller. That's perfect. So if you're trying to make a set of tongs with a brand new knife so that you won't put your shrimp through the grate on the grill at camp, and you cut the heck out of your finger and it won't stop bleeding, maybe you need some Stop Bleed. Put the pack back together. Stops bleeding. Used generously for all bleeding, is what it says. It's expired in November 2018. Still works. Get you pack. Stop Bleed. Well, my new water hole cleared up, finally. Had a lot of problems today with different things, from cutting my finger to I couldn't get the stove to burn properly. Like, I made it work, you know. Then, of course, I dropped a shrimp. I burnt one up. But I had 4 good ones and some nice grits. And they were pretty good. They were pretty good. Nice cup of coffee. I even took a little nap before I headed out. So, you know, it's a good day in the woods. Well, this is Mike from Mike's Wild World. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Like and subscribe if you can, and leave a comment. It's a wild world, so get out there, and thanks for watching.